memory. Because I know that's one thing that you're big. That's what your main thing.
It really is. Yeah, just documenting the memories. This time in pulling history in Missouri, you know.
Right, because all you people out there in YouTube land and in the pulling world, you always ask me a lot, and you do to him, but I'm going to give him a chance. You know, everybody's like, you don't do this for the money, and you don't do it for the fame, so why are you out here beating up and down these highways filming us pullers out there?
You know, and it's, you know, a lot of times, like, jokingly, I say, well, it's pretty stupid, really, for not getting paid to do it, and putting as many miles on this old truck and this and that, you know, but honestly, you know, I really just love being involved. I love being, you know, in the sport a little bit. And let me just take it back. You know, this is kind of a get to know Chad video, but hey, I'll have a segment in here. Why not?
Oh, yeah.
You know, when I was younger, I got into circle track racing in high school. I had an aunt who had a brother who had a street stock. Old beat up piece of crap street stock, you know, but hey, I was there helping him, and that was pretty cool, you know. You know, I've always been into motorsports, watching on TV. When I was a little kid, I could have swore I was going to be a professional monster truck driver, because that's, you know, I remember way back in the day, if any of you folks remember when ESPN, like on Friday or Saturday nights, would have the truck and tractor pulls on TV. And they would 3-hour live broadcast, and at the end of the event, they'd always have a few monster trucks come out. My mom was really strict on our bedtime. We had to go to bed at like 8 or 8:30, you know, so they'd still be pulling, and you know, so I'd have to go to bed, and I'd lay in there, and Dad would be watching, and I could still hear it in the living room. And I wouldn't even go to sleep. I'd just listen to those engines, you know. And Dad knew when Bigfoot or whoever it was came out, he'd come in and get me out of bed, and I could watch the monster truck section, you know. And I'd be down there on the floor with my pillow I brought from my room and acting like I was a monster truck. I still remember this, you know. I'm 43 years old, but that was me as a kid, you know. It's just, I loved it. I loved the engines. I loved the power. Just everything about motorsports. You know, I remember watching NASCAR, Supercross was big. You know, I remember watching Jeremy McGrath in his heyday. Just any kind of motorsports. So, like I say, in high school, got to be on a pit crew, which was like a dream come true. I was in the pits, involved. You know, we're out there scraping mud, changing tires. You know, and actually for my senior year in high school, the same guy that I helped, he actually gave me a street stock. Now this thing, if I can find a picture, I'll put it up here. There was when I remember seeing it because I helped him. It sat behind the shed. It had a tree growing through the floor pan, weeds all around it. This thing was rough, you know. It was like one of the late 70s style Chevelles, and I don't even know, that would have been, well, I graduated in 99, and that thing probably hadn't seen the track in 10 years at that point, so it was an old car.
Yeah, but it was a race car, though. That's all,
exactly.
That's all you
and I mean, I'm like, shit, I got a race car, you know. I don't care. And I still remember my buddy Brandon and I went out there with a trailer. We're gonna go get it, you know, pulled it out of the weeds, and I just remember looking at that thing and just grinning from ear to ear. I was so proud, you know. And so then over the next couple of years, through, you know, help of close friends, my boss at the time, Steve Cook, let me use the shop and stuff, and got that old car on the track, and man, I was way out to lunch. I mean, it would, like, to put it in perspective, if you pulled a super street truck against the top pro stock truck at an event, it would be way behind it. Well, I would have been behind the super street truck. That's how bad I was. So come to find out, I had about $8,500 in my whole car, trailer, truck, everything there, and I was still running against guys that had $30,000 engines in 2001. So anyways, kind of getting long-winded here. Through the racing days, that was where it was at. I didn't get to go to a lot of truck and tractor pulls, but we'd have rainouts or we'd have get-togethers after the races, right? A lot of times we'd go to somebody's shop and drink beer or whatever. And I remember one time in particular, we had a group of guys come in, and where you all been, man? We've been here since, you know, 10 o'clock or whatever, had a rainout. That was down at the truck pull down at Coal Camp. I'm like, what? A truck pull at Coal Camp? I mean, I live just north of Coal Camp, 30 minutes. I didn't know anything about it. And, you know, we're talking, this is probably 2010, 2012, somewhere around in there, I don't know. started that Missouri Truck and Tractor Pull fan page, and really the purpose of that was just, I wanted to know personally when these things were, because I liked going. You know, I always went to the Dream Factory, the State Fair, all the stuff in Sedalia. You know, I tried to go when I could when we weren't racing, but I was kind of getting out of the racing thing and looking for something else to do. But kind of like Chad, I'm not one that likes to just sit and watch. I'd like to be more involved, you know. So honestly, started that page, and then I just started going to events, and I started taking pictures, kind of like Chad did, you know. But had a little $75 Nikon, you know, and taking pictures of this and that. Found out real quick, got to know Mike Muslin and stuff, and I found out that he is so good at what he does. The pictures I was taking they really didn't need to be taken, you know what I mean? It just wasn't there. I mean, I think I've got a decent eye for photography, but it just wasn't there, you know, it wasn't there for me. So I kind of switched over and started doing the video thing, probably, I don't know, 2015, somewhere around there. Started putting videos up, and you know, started putting these videos together and things like that. But the whole time I'm doing this, I'm not doing this just to say, hey, look what I'm doing, look what I'm creating, or look at my videos. That's really not it. It was just, it's always been about bringing the exposure to the pullers, to the equipment, you know, the sponsors, the promoters, you know, just trying to do what I can to help get the word out, do what I can to get this stuff put in front of people's faces, so they say, oh, that looks cool, and that's going to be at Cold Camp this week? Yeah, well, I'm going, you know. So that's really been the goal through the whole thing, you know. And so I think it was like 2017 was the first time I actually used the Hollomon Productions name, because I didn't really want to take the Missouri Truck and Tractor Pull fan page over with my video stuff. I thought, well, I probably need a separate page for that or whatever. So that's when I started that deal, and things started getting a little more serious. I bought a better video camera and things, and
then I talked to you about another one.
Yeah. I bought one. What's funny, I'll get off the subject for a second, but over the winter, Chad was using my old one, the old one I started with, which is a pretty decent camera, but there were some things about it that were not working quite right for him, and this and that. And it was kind of funny. I was poking around on eBay, and I said, hey, you think you want one with a handle on top or no? And he says, no, I think a handle will probably be in the way. So I'm like, okay, whatever, you know. So I ended up buying one, and no handle on top or anything like that, and for him to use. And because the other one that I had a handle on top and things, you can mount stuff to, whatever. Which I never use the handle because it's always on a tripod. Anyways, get that camera or whatever, and I was showing him the other camera with the handle, and now he uses the one with the handle. But anyways, back to it. You know, what I was saying was, started putting these videos together, and nobody knew who I was. If you watch this video through, I kind of talked about it earlier. I'd go around and say hi to people, and even to this day, I'm still terrible with names, kind of like we talked earlier. I've seen these people for years, and it's like, I know you drive this vehicle, but I can't remember, you know. Anyways, you know, just slowly got involved, and got a little more involved, this and that. People started noticing the videos. People really started liking the videos, sharing the videos. It kind of started picking up. Got the YouTube channel, you know, going, and you know, it's just, the exposure has really gone up as far, you know, for Missouri, and Missouri has always been my focus. Missouri-based pullers, Missouri-based promoters, Missouri events, with the exception of, you know, we'll cover when Missouri State goes to Garnett, you know, Lewisburg and things like that. We'll cover those. You know, I might even venture into Arkansas a little bit, of southern Missouri, you know, and I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I don't go very far from the state line, because my focus is Missouri-based. We are pretty fortunate to have as many pullers as we do in this state.
And the quality of equipment.
Oh yeah, I mean,
oh my God.
You talk to people, or you hear people talk from other states, they compare what they've got to us. You know, we're very fortunate with what we have. I know, like with the pro stock truck scene, I mean, shoot, it's not uncommon to you know, have a weekly Missouri State show, and there might be 20 pro stock trucks show up, you know, 20 trucks that have won an event at some place, you know, and so it's not like, you know, there's any, you know, slouch really, and that's awesome. And you know, I really want, you know, other states, you know, I know I've got viewers from all over the place, and I get people, man, I wish we had that here, I wish, you know, we had that many trucks here, and, you know, who knows, you know, a promoter in another state might see some of these videos and say, man, that really works, you know, that promoter's doing a really good job. Maybe they'll contact that promoter, get some rules, you know, and get a class going, you know. But back to the original point, why do I do it? I just like helping out. I just if
you just crazy like the rest of them.
pretty much, you know, I've always been a video guy, really. When I was a little kid, Mom and Dad had one of those big video cameras that took the full-size VHS tapes. So I'd be walking around at family functions with that thing up on my up on my shoulder, videoing this and that, you know.
So you've had the bug for a long time.
I really, you know, I can look at a photograph, and I can, especially a photograph that's taken by a really good photographer, and you can tell the story that is there.
Mm-hmm.
But with a video, you can see it, you know. And so I know there's been several times this year, and I know Chad gets it because he'll come to me with you know, we talk about things on our way home a lot of nights, and he'll say, hey, this certain puller, and his dad was backing him up. His dad's 90 years old, you know, or whatever. He doesn't hardly make it anymore, but I got him in the shot. Make sure that's in the video. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to make sure that's in the video, because that's important. That is history, and that's memories. You know, that puller right then is in his element. He's in the zone. He's thinking about going 300 plus feet. You know, if his dad or grandpa's down there backing him up, he sees that, but he's not thinking about that. But you know what? In a few years, when dad or grandpa isn't there anymore, they're going to look at that video, and that's going to be valuable to them. You know, and I've already had people, you know, unfortunately, you know, through the years that have passed on, and their family reached out, you know, hey, do you have pictures or videos of this person? Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
And
unfortunately, we went through that with the trail thing.
that's right, you know, yeah. I mean, and it's rough, you know, when you get to know these people, they really become like family, you know, you see them week in and week out. But I feel very fortunate that things have went the way they did for me and for us, you know, with Chad coming on and having decent equipment, and just being able to capture this stuff, and it's out there. You know, I know a lot of y'all kind of learned the saga this year. I had a lot of things happen with my Facebook got hacked, and my Tractor Pull fan page that's been around since, I don't even remember, 10 or 11, 12 years ago is gone. I mean, it's still there, but I have no control of it. My Hollomon Productions page has been taken over, so that's disheartening, but it's still there at least. You know, I do plan on going on there and trying to get some of that stuff off and start a new page, but you know, the YouTube thing, even if it doesn't get remonetized, it's still going to be there. I just hope those videos are up there forever. I want people's grandkids, you know, there's a lot of pullers, I see them on Facebook, you know, hey, our little guy turned 1 today, you know, and this and that, and you know, there's so many young pullers having families, you know, and they're still pulling, and it's awesome, you know, they're second, third generation puller, and they're raising the fourth. One of these days, I want that kid to be able to pull up our videos and be like, hey, you know, there's grandpa, there's dad, you know, I mean, that's important to me, and I know it's important to a lot of folks.
Oh, yeah.
Just the memories, the history, you know, and the exposure. So, I know that was a long answer, but that's why I do it. You know,
well, no, people want to hear that. You know,
yeah.
You know, and you're exactly right. And I'll just say who the people were that he's talking about. Make sure you get them in the frame. Is Rob Cole. Rob Cole has come out with a pretty tough running alcohol tractor this year, and his dad Dick happened to be at, I think it's El Dorado Springs.
I guess so.
And he was there, and now Dick back in the day had one hard run. I believe it was 4.1 tractor. It's either 85 or 4.1. Forgive me my memory. know, he was a tough running tractor 25 years ago. I mean, he was a John Deere to beat, you know, and you know, a lot of people don't know that, but I know that. Now, I should say there's a lot of younger people maybe don't know that. But I know there's several people that watched that video and saw Dick handing that helmet up and was like, hey, well, remember back in the day when he was a bad hombre on his tractor, you know, and what have you. And but yeah, and I agree 100% with everything that John said, and you know, I can only say 100% plus one. You know, that's why when I'm not pulling, that's why I'm behind the video camera, because I feel the same way he does. You know, when Andy, you know, I talk about the dedication, you know, whenever Andy had that deal where he stuck that exhaust valve in the head, you know, he was running Outlaws, and Philip Chrysler actually loaned him an engine. Well, they were on the way back from Kansas, and then we had to go get the engine. Then when they got home from Kansas, put the engine in the truck, and then they turned around. Now this is all in an evening. They got home, took the engine out, put the other engine in, got a few hours of sleep, turned around and went to I think, Chickasha, Oklahoma. I'm not sure, somewhere in Oklahoma, to keep running Outlaw points. So, you know, I know what it is. The dedication is to keep these machines running. And then the balance you have to strike with your family. So,
yeah.
You know, once again, it's kind of a long answer.
Sure. You know, we put a lot of time into this, but the payoff is really in the future. I mean, obviously a lot of people right now are enjoying these videos, but, you know, for this stuff to be around, you know, 10, 20, 30 years from now, that right there is going to be awesome, you know.
Well, even now, though, one aspect that you don't think about, like, we have a lot of family that doesn't live around here that's interested in, and getting to see Anthony pull there at Holden, you know, we just text them that link.
Yep.
And if they don't want to watch the whole class, we could just say, well, he's at minute 6.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like 6 minutes into the video.
Yep.
And, you know, and they get to see that. So you're providing it for people that you not even, you know, that want to see it, that can't be here because, like, the cousins that Anthony has live in Redding, California. So,
yeah.
You know, so, well, looks like we finally arrived at our destination here.
Yeah.
And while John's watching where he's going, I guess I'll wrap the video up and say, you know, until next time, keep the chain tight. Like, comment, and subscribe. Love y'all.
Yep. Thanks for watching. See ya.
Well, I've got that